What's going on, everybody? It is Adrian from over here at Pipe Dream Hookah, and today I have what is supposed to be the 12th episode in the Fakher series, if I did my homework correctly. Homework shouldn't have been too hard. It was literally opening up YouTube and seeing how many videos I have. I'm like brushing my words because I'm full of caffeine right now. I apologize for that. I don't actually apologize. Today's is going to be on Fakhers Orange with Mint. You'll know that if you looked at the thumbnail or the title of the video. But some people, I assume, just kind of click videos randomly hoping to find something that they like. That's what I do anyway. But as usual, we're going to be reviewing this tobacco, looking at the scent, the flavor, and the cloud output of this tobacco, as well as a few other things we'll get into towards the end of the video before we give it a number rating out of 7. Because I think the 10 scale is kind of arbitrary. I explained that in a more recent video. I won't get into it too much here, but I think it's easier to understand how someone might like a product when you're using a 7 scale. Before I get into the review itself, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not going to be doing a pack tutorial in this video, just because they take kind of a long time, and I try to keep the Fakher series in between like 5 and 8 minutes, because the goal is to do these bi-weekly, which I have not been doing, I'm sure you have noticed. But as usual, the goal is to keep trying to do them bi-weekly, and in order to do that, I can't take a ton of time in editing, and I can't take up all your time if you want to watch these videos. It's like 8 minutes is pretty much the max. But for anyone who wants to know how I packed it, down in the description below I'll have a pack method for Fakher in both an Egyptian bowl and a funnel style bowl like I'm using here today. It's going to be the Hookah John 80 feet Renaissance bowl with 3 Hookah John titanium flats on top, the Starbuzz 1.0 Atlanta short with the matching bell base, and I have the Thunder Dark Hose. This is going to be the version 2. Now, like I was saying before, when we review our tobaccos, the first thing we're going to do is let you guys know what it smells like. So let's do that. Alright, so the first thing you're going to pick up when you open this up and smell it is going to be an orange scent. I can't really pinpoint whether this is an artificial or a natural orange scent, because you smell it one time and it smells like the rind of an orange, and then the next time you go in and smell it, it kind of smells like this really juicy, almost like the insides of an orange, but not actually. It smells a little bit less refreshing and more sweet. I hope that makes sense to some people. And then on the back end, you do get the mint. It's not going to be insanely pronounced. Most of these Fakher flavors don't have a ton of mint mixed into them, which I think is a good thing. It's always better to be able to add more mint if you want to, but in these premixes you can't take mint back out. At least I don't think you can. But all in all, it smells pretty good. You definitely think it's going to be somewhere between an artificial and a natural orange, but the orange rind scent that you get in there definitely is a good sign that it's not going to be just a complete candied kind of a watered down sweet flavor, which in my opinion is a very good thing. Next up, let's just go ahead and see what type of clouds this stuff can produce. Fakher in the past has produced pretty decent clouds for me. If you already watched some of my videos on this channel, you'll know that. If you're new, hi, welcome to Pipe Dream Hookah. Happy to have you over here. And if you're just watching this video and you haven't subscribed, do whatever you want. You don't have to subscribe. Well, is anybody surprised? You really shouldn't be. Fakher is going to produce these fantastic, big, white, fluffy, puffy clouds. Nothing new. Fakher's always done a very good job across all 3 lines, whether it's the original line that we're smoking today, the golden line, or even the special edition line, which I have a sneaking suspicion is just them taking the original line and mixing flavors that are already in existence and selling them to us at a premium, but that's just my opinion. Alright, now let's move along to the most important thing when we're critically analyzing any shisha tobacco, even when it's on one of these shotgun-styled Fakher series videos. I do like to do it on both the inhale and the exhale, so you can get an accurate reading on what it's going to taste like on both the inhale and the exhale. It's kind of a minor thing. I find not everyone really cares so much about it, but it's easy information to provide, so I think I'm going to do it here, starting with the inhale. Okay, so on the inhale, what you're really going to get, the first thing that's going to touch the tip of your tongue is going to be a sweet orange flavor. And it is going to come across as just a little bit artificial, and that's to be expected. These are shisha tobaccos. Nailing a natural fruit flavor profile can be a little bit difficult, especially for brands like Fakher, who really produce at a very high quantity. I haven't found a ton of natural flavors from Fakher, but this is still very good. It's not overly sweet or candied or anything. It's just definitely a little bit, I don't want to say chemically, but it's somewhat artificial. It's a little bit sweet, and you can taste the rind of the orange as well, which is good, but not so much on the inhale. As far as the mint, there's going to be a little bit of mint. It's not going to be overly pronounced, but you are going to know immediately that, hey, this is probably a flavor with mint in it. Let's go ahead and move on to the exhale. Okay, so when we were smelling the tobacco, I said that there was this orange, kind of a rind, peel, whatever you want to call the exterior of an orange. I call it a rind. I think it's actually just a peel. I'm not sure. But that flavor is going to come across pretty strongly. It's going to be more orange rind, I guess, than it is sweet orange on the exhale. As far as the mint goes, it's going to die down just a little bit. Like I said, these Fakher flavors don't tend to have a ton of mint in them. But as far as the flavor profile goes, on the inhale and exhale, you're getting a nice blend between a natural and artificial orange with a little bit of mint, which is exactly what's being advertised. So it's really nailing it in the head when it comes to an orange mint flavor. Now, really quick, I just want to go over a few other things before we finally give this a rating, and I let you guys off the hook. The first one is going to be head buzz. Now, a Fakher normally doesn't provide any type of a head buzz. It is extremely washed. It's basically translucent, and I think that's probably the reason that they dye it red, because if they didn't, it would be like this really weird kind of mash of this gray tobacco is what it would probably wind up looking like. But it's very washed. It's not going to give you a head buzz unless you do what I do, where you haven't smoked hookah for like an hour and then you pull on it like crazy because you're doing the cloud take in an Fakher series video on pipe dream hookah. When you're doing that, sometimes you get a head buzz, and I got kind of a wild head buzz. That just comes from like inhaling a lot and you are still smoking tobacco. So it's probably going to affect you a little bit, but if you're a seasoned smoker, don't expect any type of a head buzz from this at all. And if you're new, I think pretty much anything you smoke is going to get your head going a little bit. Hookah it's a little bit of a different experience when you're first trying it. I actually kind of miss back in the old days when I could smoke anything and get like a wild head buzz, because I really enjoy that. Some people don't. If you're just starting in hookah, don't worry. Those head buzzes you'll get towards like the first week or two of smoking go away pretty quickly, especially with these washed blondes. Now I'd like to talk about heat sensitivity. Fakher, I've said this before, it takes heat just fine. It can be a little sensitive if you're not careful, but as long as you're using 3 flats on a bowl like this, like I am, you're not going to have any issues. You can move it up to 4 if you use something bigger, like a alpaca rook bowl or a Hookah John retro harmony or a wide gauge harmony. Something larger you can do with more coal, but as long as you don't like really put too much heat on at the beginning of your session, you're going to be fine. And then the last thing I really wanted to touch on was burn time. Fakher, you really only get about an hour and a half out of your Fakher. It's just kind of the way it goes with these really washed tobaccos. The flavor is going to burn off within an hour and a half. You can finish 2 rounds of coals if you wanted to. You could polish it off at like an hour and 45 or even 2 hours, but you're really going to get flavor drop off at the hour and a half mark. And since it's not a dark leaf, it doesn't really provide any type of a good tobacco note after the flavor's worn off, so keep that in mind. All of that said, I'm going to rate this tobacco on the 7 scale for you guys, like I said I would before, and I'm just going to cut right to the chase and say that this is actually going to be a 6 out of 7. It is a stellar orange mint flavor. I don't really find myself wanting anything more out of an orange mint flavor whenever I pick up another Egyptian or Middle Eastern style hookah tobacco that is an orange mint. I look for something that's going to be a lot like Fakher's. If you're not an Fakher smoker, I would also recommend you try Fakher's Orange Mint. It's outstanding. And another brand whose orange mint you might try is Messiah's Orange Mint. Now, Messiah actually burns for even less time than Fakher because the tobacco they're using is an even lower quality of tobacco. They wash it and they dye all their tobaccos. If you get a blonde tobacco from Messiah, I've got a suspicion that they've actually dyed it that way, because every single tobacco, including their mint, which is dyed green, has had this really crazy dye. And some people even say you can taste it. I myself have not ever tasted a dye in a hookah tobacco. Anyway, that's just gonna about do it for this Fakher series review, hopefully number 12 if I did everything correctly. Really quick, just wanted to run this by you guys who are watching. I've got a Facebook page, and then we've got the AM Hookah Podcast Facebook page, and I'm thinking about running polls in there, because I don't know if I've announced this yet. I've been really scatterbrained on this channel lately for some reasons that involve my machine that I edit on having some issues, which has not been convenient, but I think we've gotten through that. But I wanted to do polls, because I'm starting the Starbuzz series, which is something that I wasn't sure I was going to do because I don't personally smoke a lot of Starbuzz, but I know that a lot of people do, and I feel like people should probably be reviewing those flavors. So the other people who actually smoke Starbuzz can have somewhere to go and be like, oh, I want to get Pirate's Cave. What that tastes like? Well, I'm going to try to tell you. But I'm going to start putting polls up, and if anyone wants to, I'll let you vote. I'll probably pick like 4 flavors, and then whichever flavor gets the most votes, I'll do a Fakher series or a Starbuzz series review on that flavor. Anyway, that's going to be just about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, happy smoking.